Hi guys, before the video starts, I just want to say that thanks so far for the support and all the love that you all been showing. Just want to say that this video, unfortunately, there's a few resolution errors here and there. So just don't be alarmed if you see that suddenly it gets blurry and stuff. It was like just trying to autofocus. Basically, I was still trying to understand the camera while I was using it. It's only for this video. Hopefully, it doesn't ruin the experience too much. And yeah, it's a pretty serious video, so hopefully it's not too hard to consume and enjoy. Okay, hi guys, welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm with my friend. Want to introduce yourself?
My name is Sean. I'm Matthew's friend. What else, bro?
I think
You want me to introduce? I'm from Nia Poly. My course is I like to eat mala. I like to sleep.
Yeah, so basically Sean and I have known each other since we were back when we were 17 to now. And now we're 23, so it's been about
22
23 now.
Yeah.
So about
6 years, bro.
6 years lah.
Back in poly year 1 basically.
Yeah, so it's been about 6 years. And then, so today Sean and I are just gonna have a little discussion about family loss. Because honestly, both of us have went through episodes of family loss in the sense that we both come from single parent households, but we've actually never talked about it
That is true.
in a very in-depth sense. It's just been a very maybe truth or dare. Ask what's your views about
True or that. Never mind, you don't say you can drink, bro.
yeah, those kind of vibes. But anyway, how are you doing?
Solid, bro. Managing well. My exams just ended, so that's why I've been chilling, bro.
Okay. Actually, I always wonder how come during these past few years you've never been actually attached.
Very, very good question.
Yeah.
At first I thought I was like a very picky person at first lah. But then after that I was like, honestly, I'm not the kind who like go and search for relationship lah.
Understand.
Maybe as in not as of now.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't know. I'm not looking for relationships or whatnot. Like if it comes, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
But if it doesn't, then I'm okay being single lah. Because I think being single is like have its own benefits, ma. So I think I'm pretty used to it.
I understand. But any pressure you find from maybe your parents or your friends? Because I know sometimes as a friend group, sometimes you say, hey bro, this girl can, this girl cannot.
This girl can, this girl cannot.
Or guy. But it's more girl lah, you're not gay.
Okay, I'm straight, bro. But it's okay. No pressure. Like from my mom is a single mom lah.
Yeah.
And not a lot of pressure. She never really asked a lot, so
Okay.
I guess in her eyes, I'm like don't know lah. Not say very good lah. Cause I got bring few people who stayed over, but not because of that reason lah.
I understand.
But like, then she say like, hey, she always like, hey, you no girlfriend, you better not bring home that kind.
Okay.
Like, okay lah. So that's why, but not a lot of pressure. I think she also know that like, they kind of like, oh, okay, I think you'll do well on yourself, or you confirm can find that guy. She never really like, hey, you no girlfriend ah. She never really asked me actually.
Oh, understand. So she's never really put the pressure onto you lah, essentially. Okay. Do you think, now that we have talked about that, let's go ease into the conversation of the day. But do you think that actually, why don't you just give a bit of a background of your family? Just a brief one.
Okay, so basically I grew up in a Christian family.
Okay.
Yeah, then everything was going well until when I was very young. My dad was actually diagnosed with cancer.
Okay.
Like lung cancer. Like he wasn't a smoker or anything. Like he didn't drink or smoke or anything. But it's just like those suicide kind of cases you know.
Yeah.
Then kena, then like, or it's like the serious kind. Then I was about like 10. Then yeah. So he was diagnosed with lung cancer and all that. So he had to go through chemotherapy and whatnot. Then I think at the age of like 12, my dad eventually passed away lah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like damn young lah. I think it was before like PSLA and all that shit. So all that stuff lah.
Understand.
Then yeah lor. Then ever since then, like I've been living with a single mom,
Okay.
taking care of me and my brother. Yeah, like a mother of two children. Yeah,
Okay.
two children. Yeah, so mother of two children. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but your brother is how much more older than you? 6 years, right?
Okay, so my brother we have quite a huge age gap.
Yeah.
He's like 6 years.
Okay.
So he's
So,
like 29 now, going to 30, married
yeah,
lah.
yeah. Okay, understand. Alright. So, do you think that whole episode affected your mom greatly to cause her to be maybe more protective over you?
I think okay, cause like I can see like confirm she's affected, but I think she was like kind of ready for it.
Yeah, I understand.
Ready is one thing, but then like it's like have to take in the she had to how to say what's that word mourn
Mon.
yeah mourn
Yeah.
yeah. But in a sense, I would say like she didn't really show like she was sad or anything. Like didn't really show it greatly lah. Cause I think like moms and whatnot like they just she didn't want me to worry lah. Me and my brother to worry, and she didn't really show that.
Understand.
Which was like quite I would say like protective in a sense ma. It's like she's protecting us like from worrying and whatnot. So I think like yeah lor. Yeah.
Understand. So basically, you just feel that like your mom is just trying her best to be like a superwoman for you lah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say she is lah. She is and still is like a superhero to me. I was like, wow, being a single mom is like not very easy. Like back then I was damn young lah.
Yeah.
I like didn't know like like all this kind of nonsense or whatnot, like taking care of a child or whatnot, or especially two boys lah. Then like slowly I growing up, right? Then I like realized, wow, okay, damn, actually like can see like she was hiding all that, like the whether she's sad or whatnot. Yeah, then she like trying to protect our feelings and trying to make us not worry lah. That's where I realized growing up, like from a child to like adult and young adult and to adult lah.
Or auntie powers, yeah.
Yeah,
Auntie
power man. So like she's the superhero to me lah.
Yeah lah. I mean, I've met auntie also. I can see that even at this age, she's like also trying to change her life around, like with all her fitness stuff also, right? But she recently joined like the F45 also, right?
Yeah, that was a while back. But she's still like trying to get in shape and whatnot. Like she's quite exercise key ah. Like she like to go Pilates, all this lah. I think maybe it's to like just I think cause she want to get fit ma. She don't want to like sit at home and whatnot. She likes to work out and that's her fitness and all that.
Understand.
Yeah.
For non-Singaporean speakers, exercise care essentially means a fitspo. Yeah, like you're very addicted to exercising.
Very fit.
Very fit, yeah.
And she
Okay.
got like eat diet and stuff.
Oh really? She goes on diets.
She got diet also. Yeah.
What is
Like here and there lah, here and there. Then sometimes she just don't care, just eat like chicken whatnot lah.
Understand.
KFC.
Okay, I mean, honestly speaking, like for me as well, I feel that it's quite relatable. When you're talking about moms, especially because my parents are divorced lah. So I think my mom has been the one that was mostly raising me up this whole time. Especially since for most of my life I was a single child. So and for her she feels that she wants the best for me lah. And there isn't really anybody else to share that experience with me. So she always does her best. She works like long hours just to provide. But I think the most common thing that both of us lack is that, I guess, that constant father figure in our life from a young age.
that
I mean,
is true.
for me is I still have, but more on the weekends. It's like or whenever I'm free. Because my dad, I don't live with my dad. I live with my mom. But for you, I think it's on a different level where basically you don't have your dad around anymore.
Yeah.
So how do you think that has affected you, especially through you lost your dad at the age of 12, then moving forward, the rest of it is like puberty, yeah. So your most formative years as a guy. So how has that affected you?
So basically I would say I was alone lah, yeah, like technically, because like my mom was trying her best like to raise two children ma. Then I think at the age of 12, like that back then I was going to secondary school ma. So it was like a big change from like primary school to secondary school. Then like there was a short story, like basically I was enrolled into some secondary school cause I didn't do really well for my PSLE, 197 kind. Then like I enrolled to some secondary school, Northland Secondary School lah, which secondary school I didn't choose. Then cause 197 not really express mah.
Yep.
Then like so I appealed to a secondary school that my brother was in, so like to be more comfortable mah. Cause like I felt like quite alone. Then like no friends mah. Back then haven't you go into secondary school, you no friends yet mah.
Yeah.
Then like a bit I want to go somewhere more comfortable. So luckily like damn lucky, cause I think the cutoff for my secondary school that I actually went to was like 211.
Oh,
So that was a big like
there's big gap lah.
it's a big like 14 points difference. But I managed to get into express lah. I think after like some interview or something. I'm not very sure, but like I think my mom talked to the principal also a bit. Make sure like my brother was from this secondary school. I don't know. I don't think not say poor lah, but like I think like just everything very lucky oh.
Yeah.
Then just managed to get in a secondary school. Then I think from then on is where like the real shit began.
Yep.
Like where you see whether what kind of person you eventually like shape into lah. So I feel like the secondary school period I was like quite honestly throughout the 4 years, right, I met quite like really good people that who accepted me lah. Cause like back then you very young you don't dare to say you're like you're a single mom or your dad passed away. Cause very young people, a lot of people make fun
Yeah.
You're scared that people will make fun of you.
Because they haven't really matured lah.
Yeah,
It's a
then
joke.
like like joking.
But it's not like they mean it, right? It's just a joking thing lah.
yeah lah, joking lah, but you know,
But still will
sometimes-
affect you lah.
I think it did lah sometimes. But then it's like it's only after a while that I told them that actually my mom is single mom. But they say like okay, then like they really how say they didn't give me any pressure or what, like they just really accepted me lah. Which I'm thankful for, like my secondary school friends from Sec 1 to Sec 4. So eventually like actually they really helped me lah, cause like they made things easier. Then like we had a lot of fun actually. So I think that was quite an important part on becoming who I am right today lah.
Yeah lah. So that kind of made up for the fact that you didn't have that father figure in your life back then lah.
Yeah, but I didn't really think about like I don't have a father figure. I just like if I didn't have a father, like cause I don't have a father, then what am I going to do now? But I thinking back, right, I was like, hey, actually if I were to have a father, maybe like could have guided me through some instances lah.
Okay.
Like let's say like maybe like relationship advice or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
How that's like secondary school stuff lah, nonsense. Then like maybe could have asked him or something like or what lah. I didn't have anyone to approach lah. Friends is can approach friends, but then like it's also good to hear from your father, like also, that
I
kind
agree.
of standpoint. Yeah, you know.
I agree. Because honestly, when growing up, right, like sometimes when I wanted to get, not really for 13 to 16, because that point in time I was in all guys school, so there's no relationships there. But then when I went to Polytechnic, you reach the age where like, you want to have independence for your parents, right? And plus, it doesn't help that I don't really live with my dad. So, like for me to want to get relationship advice, it's like you don't approach anyone because you don't go to your mom and you don't have a dad really there that you can trust at that point of time to go to. So yeah, I can kind of get that. I kind of get that drift. I understand. But honestly speaking, do you ever feel like when you look at like our friends in our group and you see like the family they're in, how tight their unit is and how complete it is, like do you feel that I really wish I could have that, like sometimes?
I don't say I wish, but like I got think about it lah. Like let's say like some of our friends like grew up like quite their mom and dad, I see them like interact like very wholesome. Then got think a bit lah, like actually would things be different, you know, if my dad was still around, that kind of thing. But then like think about it, okay lah, I think everything happens for a reason lah. That's what I like to type myself lah. Like everything happens for a reason, so it's okay. And like actually I am quite like fortunate and happy with like my mom and my other family members. Like we are doing quite well lah, I would say. Then there was nothing. Like I said, nothing really like my mom didn't let me worry about a lot of stuff. Like she really take it like a superwoman with a shield up and stuff. So
Understand.
really congrats to her, yeah. But going back to your question, I don't think like I would think of it anything much than just like, oh wow, they look quite good, like good family lah,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, you know.
So you won't be like jealous lah.
I would say no lor.
But then at the end of the day, we all still hope that we could be in that position where the family is like still together lah.
Yeah lah, hope is hope lah, but
But you just accept the fact
yeah,
lah.
I just accept that because like I mean technically it's like window shopping ma.
Yeah, because actually I feel that people in a single parent relationship or even people whose parents are not really very gum at home, like very close, it's a very normal thing in Singapore. It's just that people don't really talk about it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like divorce or separated parents are very, very normal thing, but it's just that everyone never really talks about it. But I feel that it's just a part and parcel of life. Like relationships sometimes don't last. Unfortunately, some people also find that like they find themselves in a position where they lost one of their parents young lah. So I mean, unfortunately for your case, it is what it is. I mean, both my mom and my dad both lost their parents when they were young too. My mom's same age as you lah. Like she lost her mom. Then my dad lost her dad when he was like 5. So it's like they've always then they grew up to have me, but then they had a divorce lah. Which I honestly I don't really blame them because like end of the day it's like I feel this is the kind of instances that make you like grow and learn as a person. If you keep wallowing in your past, then there isn't much you can do about it, right?
Yeah, that's why. I think like there's no point like moving backward and think like what if, you know. There's no
Yeah.
point like thinking what if, or whatnot. It's just like I think from then on you should just move forward lor.
I understand.
Yeah. Did you ask your mom like how she grew up? Because
I
like
did.
she lost her parents. And
Yeah, I
like,
did.
she's like,
My mom is a very private person, but she did tell me about this instance. So essentially, she told me that like it wasn't easy lah because I think before my grandma passed away, my mom and her had like a small altercation lah. So they fought. It was like just before Mother's Day, and it didn't really help that they never made up for it. And my mom and my grandma had a case of history of asthma, so she had asthma attack. Then she didn't make it through. So I think to this day, my mom always had that regret that she never
enough time lah.
never
Properly say
like apologize for the instance. So like yeah lor, then she always hold that in her lah. But then I think eventually as you grow up, you know, I mean, end of the day, having a loss is never an easy thing, and I feel that a lot of people don't really address having a loss. You know, it's very hard for us to, especially in Singapore when things are moving so fast. It's very hard for us to actually sit down and to decompress and like unpackage the whole incident. You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, I guess you're trying to say like, oh, there are some people out there who don't really address it, and in a sense like lead to a lot of bad habits or what.
Yeah lah. So basically, like I feel that's where. I mean, I don't want to make an assumption because I never really had it before, but I just feel that's where like things like depression will start to pop up occur lah.
Or like smoking, drinking, all this lah.
Yeah,
Lead
yeah,
to
lah.
smoking.
Lead to like your vices and stuff lah. Because you need a
Vices,
coping mechanism.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
But I think speaking of that, I feel like I think because my mom actually like I think my mom and dad like raised me to like you know that kind of like no smoking, no drinking, that kind of thing, which I don't do now lah. Smoking no lah, but drinking a bit lah, here and there lah. But it's not like the drinking like
everyday
because
kind
you set
yeah,
kind, you know, like
it's more like you want to have fun, right?
yeah. I mean, throughout I didn't really like when my father passed away, like I didn't resort to this kind of like bad habits.
Yeah lah.
Or not say bad habits, but like not so healthy ways to cope with your feelings lah.
Yep.
Which I think it was true like raising me up from young lah. Because I think if I were to be in another environment, I think I would lead to those kind of vices lah. You never know lah. But
Understand.
looking at it, okay lah, I think I'm considered quite quiet already lah.
Yeah, you are quite.
Like I never really like I don't smoke or like whatnot lah.
Understand. But I mean, sometimes you do find yourself. Yeah, you never ever had a an occurrence where you feel that you really need a drink to get over like some level of sadness, man?
Back then I think have once or twice, but then after that, like I read online, then like say like cause like I see movies all these, like they say drinking, then they drink, they sad, they sad then they drink mah. But then I read online like alcohol is a depressant.
Yep.
So when you drink, if you are sad, you become more sad.
Yeah.
So like I don't think that doesn't really sound very healthy to me mah.
Yeah lah.
So when I'm sad, I don't really resort to drinking or whatnot lah.
Understand.
Actually, I resort to like other things, like actually like gaming or whatnot. Like I play games to like just
Distress
lah. Yeah, last time I play a lot lah. So
Understand. So like I think for vices wise, like it's not. I think for me it's like I think it's a bit opposite from you because I find that sometimes I think like drinking all like it takes the pain away a bit lah. I feel for me lah because I never really had the habit of gaming or and then sports wise I've never been the best athlete, so there wasn't really like I really don't really like to exercise in the past, so I never really had that way to cope lah. So vices was like the easy way out, you know what I'm trying to say? Like you just, but it's not healthy lah. Like really it's not healthy. Like honestly, like to drink and to smoke and to do a lot of other stuff, but not drugs lah. Everything is just, it gets a bit, it's, how do you say, it's like when you have a lot of holes, right, then you're trying to cover the holes with like flex tape, you know, like it's a good stop for the moment, but it's tape lah. It's not like it's not like a proper thing to duct tape over all these kind of holes. You need like a proper
adhesive.
Yeah,
You need a proper like
concrete,
cover up.
something concrete to go and fix all these holes up.
Yeah, cement and all that
Yeah,
instead of
correct,
like tape.
And cement is more like if you have like a good support system, or you actually sit down and write down about your feelings and stuff.
Speaking about that, as we take a drink of alcohol, bro. Wow,
I
so
mean-
ironic. Bro.
Yeah, but have you ever found yourself like needing to go for like I don't know, like counseling or stuff like that to deal with your
Wow, actually, that's a very good question.
because honestly we've never talked about this before, and in fact, like even within our friend group there are people that are a bit against the idea. So what do you think?
Honestly, if you ask me now, or like back then,
Like throughout this whole
okay,
period
throughout
lah,
I feel like actually I got to think about it. I wasn't against it at all. Like if let's say like if my mom sent me to counseling, I say okay,
Yep.
I'll take it. Cause like I heard like counseling will help people, and you can talk about anything.
lah.
Like they say they say like I don't know lah. I never go before ma.
Yeah.
They say they won't like or anything.
Yeah.
You know, they like to use the word anything say here stays here,
Yeah,
that kind
correct.
of thing. So I think if I were to go, I don't mind going, cause like also it might be helping you. Like let's say like you never know like what kind of problems you have. Maybe
Yeah.
you say right, then the counselor will tell you, or you are facing this, facing that. You never know ma. Cause like
Yeah.
only the counselor will know. So I think I wasn't against it. Like actually, if I were to go now, I also don't mind. I see maybe actually I've explained to her or him or her the whatever things I'm going through.
Yep.
Let's say maybe I might find something that I'm actually facing.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people are like against it. Like maybe they say like they don't need it or whatnot. Actually, I'm okay like with going because it helps, ma.
Understand.
It's a good, like I'll say it's a good medium for you to let your thoughts out or whatever is on your mind, ma.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a rant lah, basically, right?
I mean, for me, I only went for counseling once, which was last year, I think. Or was it this year? I think this year.
I think it's last year.
Or last year. You know
last
about
year.
it, right? I told you,
I
yeah. I think honestly speaking, it's good because I think the counselors themselves, they're experienced, so they roughly understand like people's like when they say something where or where not the person will probably go towards, you know what I'm trying to say. Like for us, when we share each other's problems, it's like, yeah, you can share me and I share you because we are close, ma. But at the same time, I don't know what kind of prompting questions to ask you to dig the information from you so that it will help
To make you think lah.
to make you think and to make you overcome that like barrier or to come to terms with your problems. But I think for counselors, what they do is that it's good because they know how to get like they have those like helping questions to help them to get to the end point lah.
So you been to counseling before, right?
Like once lah. I mean, for
Once
me,
ah?
yeah, once.
One
But
session ah?
one session only.
Like don't want already ah?
It's not about the one. It's just that after that, I felt that I wanted to work on myself more. It's not that I'm against going for counseling. Okay, number one, it's not cheap also.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
quite,
another thing.
it's quite expensive. But at the same time, I also feel that it's necessary. Like, I feel everyone should definitely go for it. Like, I'm planning to go for it again soon. But I feel that it's important because, like what you said, is a very safe space. You can really talk about anything, and then it made you realize some stuff lah. Because end of the day, counseling is like going for a checkup. I feel it's like everyone.
Medical checkup.
Mental health is important, ma. I feel. And some more, like now there's so much awareness about mental health, about all these problems. Taking medication and all is just a quick fix. I feel sometimes it's about building the immunity, how to become stronger mentally. There's different steps lah. Like maybe like Andrew Tate says, like for example.
For example, quoting the
But
man here.
one good way is definitely exercise. I think to cope with stuff, exercising is very important. Like
That's one way to vent it out lah.
vent it out lah. Because I mean you release a lot of chemicals within your body when you exercise, so I think it really helps. It's a healthier way lah, because you are definitely building your body up ma.
Doing something that's beneficial for your body lah.
Yeah lah. Anyway, you talk about religion, right? So you said you were born a Christian. I'm born a Catholic lah, but do you feel that you still find yourself wanting to go back to church, or like you kind of like lace?
Okay, so backstory lah.
Yeah.
Basically, when I was young, I went to a lot of church, and like cause your parents bring you ma. Then after that, shortly after, I kind of fell out of them ma.
Yep.
Then I think like I'm not sure where it started to fall, but then I feel like halfway through, I just like didn't want to go. Then like I feel like, okay, I don't want to say this lah, but like I feel like now like I'm not say no religion, but like I still believe that there's something like, or someone watching over me.
Yeah.
But like I just don't dive into that, like, cause Christian ma, then I don't dive into that Christian
Believer.
Yeah. I just like keep it there, okay? Like that's
So you believe that there's a being on top, but you just don't want to label yourself as a Christian.
not say I'm okay with labeling myself a Christian.
But you just don't. But you just don't. You just don't.
Like
know.
people ask me that, I won't know lah. Like, hey, you read the Bible. Like for example, you read the Bible. I say no, I don't read.
Understand.
Kind of thing. But like I have tried to read it last time lah. Like young at time, I read a bit. Then like, okay. But then now it's like I don't go to church or whatnot. I was like, I think don't really, like, not say don't really lah, but like I just no feels to go.
Do you feel that you losing your faith in the religion is like kind of play into the fact that with the loss of your dad? Like, do you like feel that you blame this high being?
I think back then back then I got to think a bit lah, like why so sway?
Yeah.
It's a really unlucky case lah. Like my really, like I said,
your dad got no problem, then suddenly
no problem. Like you just imagine like you're healthy, not say working out, but like just healthy. Then you suddenly just kena something that you die in like a few years, that kind.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I mean, I didn't really thought about it. I just think like, just damn sway. But like cause sometimes I wonder like why this happened to me, this kind of thing.
Understand.
Like, why me, Like, why not other people? Or like, why so unlucky lah?
Yeah.
But I never really blame. I never actually blame like the higher being lah or whatnot. Cause I think it's just maybe there's a reason for this or something.
Understand. I mean, for me, same lah, because I mean, I also never really blame, but you also question like the intentions of someone who's supposed to give you goodness in life. Then suddenly they take this good thing away from you lah. So I guess it is what it is. It's just life.
Maybe you got like an eye for an eye or some shit. I don't know, bro. Maybe in the future lah, not yet lah. We are still young, bro. So I don't know.
There's a lot to live for, I suppose. But end of the day, linking back to the first question, do you think that because of your dad, that's why now you struggle to find a relationship in like your later parts of your life or anything like that?
Honestly, I don't think so. Like, I mean, you ask your dad for or your mom for relationship advice.
No lah, not really.
Yeah lah. So it's like, they kind of, yeah, maybe it's like just a self like preference kind of thing.
Because for me, I ask this because like I feel that with my parents' divorce, right, I always don't want to put my own, if I have lah, please have, but if I have my own children next time, I don't want to put them through the same like
Thing that you go through.
yeah, exactly.
They
So
went
like
through.
I'm very picky about who I want to bring home and meet my parents, or who I want to see as someone who is very concrete in my life. Like yeah, I can go on with many people for many dates, but doesn't mean that they are the ones that I'm gonna go out with eventually, ma. So I feel that whoever I am with currently now, or whoever I'm with in the future, hypothetically speaking, it's like someone that is I'm very very certain that this is the person that I want to be, because like I don't want to put people who went through what I went through, because I feel that I was strong enough at the age to understand and be mature in a sense about it. But I don't know if the average person can go through that lah. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's not easy, ma. Yeah.
That's true lah. I mean,
That's why I asked you the question. Like, do you feel that this your life experiences is affected? Like, why you haven't been able to find that person?
I think yeah, like I said, I think it's no like just feel like it's just a preference thing like my own personal preference lah.
Yeah, lah, understand.
At first, yeah lah, like I said, at first I was like picky. Right now it's just like, I mean, I'm open, but like not really sourcing out there. I am putting myself out there lah. Like okay lah, dating apps and whatnot lah.
Yeah.
But like, so far like nothing much. It's just like here and there.
Understand.
Slowly. But I think, I guess it's like a time will tell kind of thing.
Yeah, I suppose so. Okay.
Hopefully, yeah.
So I will end this segment by asking the same question I asked you during Truth or Dare. So if you could turn back time, would you want to bring your dad back? That honest.
Time.
Yeah.
I would say, wow, very tough question. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things that will factor in.
Yeah.
Everything, I don't know. If you're thinking about like, if let's say if I'll bring back like, okay, like, will you say like, okay, what kind of factors? Like, let's say happy, like,
No, lah, in general, lah, if you could
In
turn back
general.
time, yeah. I mean, this is the question I asked him when we were 17, lah. So I just want to pose it back to him. Because if you ask me, yeah, I'll give my answer later. I don't want to affect his answer. But yeah.
okay lah, I'll say yes lah, because like, I guess my mom will be happy for my dad to be back also ma. So anything that will make mama happy, sure, yeah, I'll do that.
Understand.
Yeah, but if I'm thinking about like very deep, I never think so deep lah. So yeah,
Understand. Okay. But, I mean, you will do it for your mom, lah.
yeah,
That's nice. I mean, for me personally, if you were up to me, I would say no, lah. Because I feel that, generally speaking, like, everyone was very grown in a certain way. I feel that things, like what you said, things happen for a reason. We can't deny the fact that there's probably some higher being or higher calling this is doing all this to us. But it's fine, because, like, end of the day, I learned to be a different kind of person. My mom has grown to be a different kind of person. And because of that, now, today, I have a 4-year-old sister. I feel like there's always progress in life. You know, you think that if you and your dad is still around, you will be friends with us, man?
yeah. That's why. That's why like, yeah, I think about it. There's a yes and there's a no.
Yeah, lah. But we never know. We never know.
Yeah, for my mom, I would say yes, but if you ask me alone, I would say no, cause like, yeah, if I never know what kind of person I will be, ma.
Yeah,
I'm
understand.
happy with who I am right now, so yeah, lor.
Okay, understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, what's your plans moving forward? Like, what's the future holding for you?
Define future, bro.
When does uni end for you?
My uni ends next year. Today is still December, right?
Yeah.
Next year December. So after that,
Any jobs in mind or anything?
I mean, I know what kind of industry I will work in, like the field that I will dive into.
Understand.
But as of now, I haven't really secured full-time job lah.
Understand.
Let alone like internship.
Okay.
So Yeah, I mean they say 1 year very fast one, bro. I mean they say 1 year like, I think 1 year like wow, still got 1 year, but actually slowly think about it, it's
Yeah lah.
damn fast, it'll be damn fast. So
It's too fast paced in Singapore lah. Honestly,
Yeah,
university.
it is.
Yeah. But any are you seeing anyone now that I didn't know of?
am I seeing anyone now?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
today,
now
as of today.
As of today.
No, but maybe as of next week, yeah lah. But as of now, no lah. Maybe of next week, maybe yeah lah.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, so now we're just gonna end off this part of the whole podcast. So I'm gonna ask you, what's your song of the week?
You're gonna ask me a lot of questions, bro. You're gonna ask me back to the first question, back to the second question. So back to the last time we played through there. Back to when you were 10 years old, actually. Okay lah. The song of the week, okay, it's not an English song, it's a Japanese song.
Okay.
It's a Plastic Love.
By who? Yasobai.
No. It's a cover lah, actually.
Oh, is it?
It's a more R&B cover. So it's
Okay.
it's actually a Japanese city pop song.
Ah.
Japanese 80s song. So they made a cover. So it's by Friday Night Plans.
Okay, I'll give it a listen to later.
Plastic Love.
For me, my song of the week is Sunshine by Steve Lacy.
Steve Lacy,
Steve
yeah.
Lacy is banging it out right
Mr.
now.
Steve
His latest
Lacy,
album,
bro.
Gemini Rights, is quite sick, honestly. Yeah. So anyway, just want to thank Sean for everything he said today. It's a very deep conversation that we're putting online. Yeah,
Indeed,
yeah.
social media is a scary place,
It's
bro.
a scary place. But
No,
thanks,
it
Sean.
is.
And so now after this, we're gonna eat, right?
We're gonna eat, bro.
So we're gonna catch
So
you
what are we
later.
gonna eat?
Hello and welcome back. So we're having lunch now. Where are we eating now?
We are eating at Sanuk Kitchen.
Can you explain a bit more about Sanu?
Honestly, I didn't really know where it was, but it's Thai food, man.
Sin City wasn't made for you.
It's just halal Thai food lah. So anyway, end of the day, thanks for today, Sean.
Hey, my pleasure, bro. Anytime. See you on the next episode of It's like
See you on the next podcast. Bye.